Hello everybody, welcome to the video on interview questions and answers for teaching positions from CareerRide. In today's world of online learning, technology and social media, the job role of educators has never been so challenging. Not only do they need to continuously enhance their subject knowledge, but they also need to keep upgrading themselves to navigate the dynamic landscape of technology. The increasing screen time of the students causing behavioral changes in them further adds to the complexity of their role. The interviews try to evaluate the educators for their adaptability on all these parameters. So, our aim in today's video is to equip you with the knowledge and strategies you require to navigate through such questions. Let's explore some commonly asked questions based on these contemporary developments. Every moment of this video has been very thoughtfully curated to help you with the insights and tips to emerge as successful teaching professionals. Are you ready to embark on the journey? Fantastic. Let's start. Question number 1. Why did you take up teaching as a profession? Now see, this is usually one of the initial questions in any interview you face. And as I always say, while answering this type of a question, rather than giving emotional answers, bank upon the qualities and skills required to do well in that profession. Some of the most important qualities you require to begin teaching and then continue with it are: number 1, good subject knowledge. Then, passion for teaching. Effective communication skills. Patience. Then, empathy and understanding to be able to deal with the children. Problem solving abilities. Then, longing for continuous learning, because a good teacher is always a continuous learner also. Tech proficiency. This is one of the most important qualities required in today's age. And then ability to adhere to the ethics, because teachers are the biggest role models for their students. Now see, other qualities may add more value to you, but these qualities are must to have. You can't be a good teacher without them. The next thing to do now is weave all these qualities together and present them in the form of an answer. A sample answer to this question can be something like: I chose to be a teacher of mathematics because it gives me an opportunity to seamlessly integrate my love for this subject and my desire to share with others what I know about it, letting me add a purpose to my own life also. My own journey as a student was marked by challenges in understanding many concepts of mathematics, and I realized that many students face the same struggle. These experiences fueled my determination to bridge the gap and help the students overcome their hurdles. Since I have myself been in that position once, I exactly know what holds the students back. Also, I know the subtle tricks to deal with those problems at the conceptual and mental level, both. This profession gives me the opportunity to share all these things with the younger generations continuously. Effective communication is a cornerstone of my teaching approach. I can convey difficult ideas very easily in an understandable and engaging manner. Patience, empathy, and understanding are qualities I hold dear. I'm committed to stay abreast with the latest developments in teaching methodology, technology, and the subject itself, which allows me to provide my students a dynamic learning experience. Teaching is a profession that has a long-lasting impact on the society. Students look at their teachers as their role models, which makes our ethics and integrity all the more important for us. And I'm glad that as a teacher, I get to play a role in shaping up the next generation. So you see how I talked about my own experiences and included the qualities important for the role in my answer. I understand that it got a little lengthy. I recommend replaying this much part of the video again and take down the important notes if you missed. Based on this approach, you can also develop your own answer and practice delivering it. Moving on to question number 2 now. Which teaching methods do you find most effective? Now see, every institute wants its teachers to be effective and provide the best learning experience. So this is a very obvious question that you must expect to be asked. You can answer this question by saying something like, while there are certain approaches that I use more frequently than others as a teacher, I firmly believe that one-size-fits-all approach doesn't work in education. The choice of approach should be flexible and tailored to the needs of the students, their level of understanding, the objective of learning, and the context to a great degree. As a teacher of mathematics, my approach revolves around building the foundation of the chapter to be taught as the first step. I begin by giving my students a comprehensive background of the chapter, which sets up the stage for advanced concepts and deeper understanding. One method that I have found to be very effective is think aloud method. It helps the students witness my thought process as I work through the problems. It encourages them to think critically and approach a problem from different angles. Additionally, I also present them with complex and real world scenarios, which needs them to apply what they have learned. This approach discourages rote memorization and fosters problem solving skills. And since a lot of students get anxious with mathematics, managing their anxiety is paramount. To manage this anxiety and keep them relaxed during my lectures, I continuously emphasize that mathematics is a very approachable subject. Understanding the underlying concepts is the key. From my own experiences as a student, I've come to understand that students' mental readiness is as important as knowing the subject matter itself. So, this is the foundational approach I take in my classes, and then, as per the need of the class, students, and times, I keep experimenting with the newer things. So, flexibility, I would say, is a core aspect of my teaching philosophy. Now, see that we are done with the sample answer. It is important to note that my preferred teaching method aligns with my subject. You might be teaching a different subject, and your approach may depend on that. So, take time to sit back and think what is your preferred approach and prepare your answer accordingly. However, the constant in my approach is my flexibility, as I'm committed to adjust as per the needs of my students. Okay, and now comes a question which is very, very important in this era of EdTech. And the question is, what do you think will be the role of technology in education in the coming years? Now see, this question is important because your answer to this one question tells about your awareness of what's happening around. Someone who is aware of the developments happening around is more prepared to accept them and adapt accordingly. So to answer this question, you can say something like, all of us have witnessed the development in EdTech and its impact on the education system. But this is just the beginning. As an educator who keeps an eye on the emerging trends, I believe it is important to be aware of what's happening around and what the future may get for us. We have already seen how hybrid model of learning got popular in the schools. The advent of short online courses, certification programs further confirms that technology is going to bring a major change in the education sector. But we have moved much beyond this stage now. Some of the major technological developments that I think will soon happen in the field of education are: number one, integration of AI, where AI-driven tutors will help teachers tailor the instructions as per the need and capabilities of the individual student. It will further help them with grading, providing real-time feedback to the students, etc. The teachers will be able to make more informed decisions based on data analysis, as it happens in other sectors like e-commerce, retail, etc. The second development will be immersive learning experiences with AR and VR, where the students will be able to learn complex concepts in a virtual 3D environment. Imagine learning about the historical places, molecular structures, geographical phenomena in 3D virtually. But this will all become a reality very, very soon. The third impact of technology on education will be more use of data analytics in EdTech. Now, predictive analytics will make it possible to identify and advance the students at a risk of failing, and teachers will be able to make more timely and personalized interventions in the future. Similarly, data analysis will find its way in analyzing students' performance and engaging them better. Digital literacy will increase with all this because every school will try to prepare its students to face the world better. The fifth thing will be personalized content creation with AI. Depending upon the needs of the students, the teachers will be able to create customized workbooks, interactive textbooks for their schools. Education will become more accessible and personalized for students with special needs here. These are certain developments that are poised to bring about a major change in the world of education. We as educators must remain not only aware of these advancements but ready to embrace and harness them to provide the best learning experiences to our students. Now, see, with this kind of a sample answer, what you do is you communicate to the interviewers that you are aware of what's happening around, and you also tell them that you are ready to embrace the change and go with the flow. Okay, we just saw how technology can work for the betterment of students. But every coin has got two sides to it. So, your next question can be, has the integration of technology in education had any negative effects on the students? To answer this question, you can say, well, our first major and wide-scale encounter of technology with education happened during the COVID times, when students had to compulsorily attend the classes online for almost 2 academic years. While the technology ensured that the studies continued, we need to acknowledge some major challenges it has brought before us. Some of them being learning loss. A lot of students face disruptions in their studies due to remote or hybrid learning model. The teachers are working tirelessly till now to help the students recover from it. Then, while the virtual classrooms were essential during that period, it was difficult for the teachers to keep all the students engaged. The result was declining interest and motivation to study, as they missed the interactive and social aspects of a physical classroom. The decreased motivation has persisted for some. Then, increased screen time and health issues like eye problems, sedentary lifestyle, disrupted sleep patterns has been another outcome of this integration. The fourth one is lack of focus. Since the same internet-enabled device that is used for learning can be used for social media interactions, gaming, and other non-educational content, lack of focus during these learning hours has affected the quality of education. Then, over-dependence on technology has taken a toll on important cognitive skills like students' critical thinking, mental calculation, and writing skills. Students spending too much time on these devices reported a lot of behavioral issues also, along with the ability to gel in a social setup. So, while technology has been a valuable asset in maintaining educational continuity, these negative effects emphasize the need for a balanced and thoughtful approach to this integration. Question number 5. What do you think is the role of punishment in improving the performance of a student? Now see, in last some years, a lot of rules have been formed to protect the students from undue incidences of punishment. This has cautioned even the school authorities also, and they try to understand the views of their teachers also before hiring them. So to answer this question, you can say something like, while punishment can play an important role in instilling discipline in students, it must be executed in a way that doesn't harm the student physically or mentally. At the same time, it must make the student learn his lesson too. In my classroom, I try to set very clear expectations and open constructive communication from both the sides. Setting a positive culture from the beginning itself prevents the need for any tough punishments later on. I strongly believe that teaching students self-regulation and giving them tools to manage their own behavior works the best. In addition to sincere verbal praises, I give them small individual and collective rewards also for exemplary conduct. For example, a short positive phone call or email at home about the child's performance also helps in getting more of that good behavior from other students of the class also. Consistency is the key in maintaining this good behavior. However, in certain cases, when a student's behavior is genuinely unacceptable, it becomes imperative to involve the parents and seek counseling. This ensures that we are able to address the underlying issue that makes them behave the way they do. So see, this type of an answer conveys that while you are a very understanding teacher, you know how to instill discipline in your students and address the issue when they arise. Question number 6. How do you develop the confidence and self-esteem in your students? Now see, it is another important responsibility of a teacher to build confidence and self-esteem in their students. Some students have a high level of confidence and self-esteem naturally, while some struggle with it. However, we have known for a long time now that with a growth mindset, both of these characters can be developed in a student. So to answer this question, you can give examples of things you do or say in your class that help in boosting these characters. A sample answer can be something like, as teachers, we have all experienced that when students feel better about themselves, they achieve more in the classroom and life. They are able to deal better with their mistakes, disappointments, and failures also. I always try to foster a can-do attitude and a growth mindset in all my students. Certain things that I have found to work on my students are, number one, providing productive feedback. I always try to provide a positive and productive feedback to my students. Providing criticism is required when needed, but it has to be constructive criticism. Otherwise, you may just land up hurting a child's self-esteem and confidence while achieving nothing productive out of it. It is almost like venting out your own frustration on young minds. The second thing I do is, I always praise the task. And while praising them, I ensure that my praise is oriented towards the task and the strategy rather than the person himself. For example, rather than saying, you are very strong, I prefer to say, I saw you were able to hold your poses for a very long time. That shows your strength. Then, I teach them to accept their mistakes, because encouraging them to find their own mistakes helps them get better. At the same time, it is important to keep reminding them that it is human to commit mistakes. What's important is to learn from your own mistakes. Setting realistic expectations also goes a long way. It helps in boosting their self-confidence. The activities I give are not so challenging that they are not able to complete. But at the same time, they are challenging enough to make them get a sense of accomplishment. Motivating students to develop new skills is also a great way to help them improve their self-confidence. And lastly, I encourage my students to practice self-reliance and autonomy. Because when children are able to do their own things and make their own decisions, it fosters self-confidence in them. So these are certain things that I do with my students, and I have found them to give me good results. And now coming to the last question for this video today. How does a teacher influence his students? One of the most important questions. To answer this question, you can say, a teacher has profound influence on his students, both academically and personally. That is far beyond the classroom. The teachers serve as role models for their students, exhibiting personal qualities which students try to emulate in their own life. Through their actions and conduct, teachers set an example for their students to absorb and carry out in their life. The teachers also ignite passion in their students. They inspire their students to pursue their interests and passions. An encouraging and supportive teacher can ignite in them a lifelong interest for a particular field. Then the values and ethics that teachers instill in their students become their lifelong assets. Honesty, integrity, responsibility, empathy are certain qualities that become their moral compass for life. Many students confide in their teachers, sharing things that they may not be able to disclose at home also. A good teacher helps them navigate those challenges while building resilience. This helps them become better human beings, emotionally and socially, both. To be a good teacher, we need to be a good student first. And this attitude of lifelong learning in a teacher helps his students also emulate it. See, academic success is just one gift that a teacher gives to his students. The broader gift is the right way to lead the life and conduct themselves in different situations that a student learns from good teachers. A teacher's influence goes far beyond the classroom, shaping the future generations. So guys, with this we come to the end of this video, and I sincerely hope it will be useful to you in facing your next interview more confidently. Very soon I'll get your video on some situational questions also that are usually asked to the candidates aspiring to be educators or teachers in their interview. To make sure that you don't miss out on that video, do subscribe to the channel today. If you have found today's video useful, do give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends too. I'll be back to you with a new video very soon. Till then, bye-bye and take care.